30 years passed. The storm of that unforgettable night had long disappeared, but the secret it left behind remained in one woman's heart. Life had moved on. Children had become men. Dreams had come true for some, while others struggled just to survive. Yet, fate was quietly preparing to reopen a chapter everyone believed had ended. The morning sun shone brightly over Lagos as a convoy of luxury vehicles drove through the gates of Okafor Group headquarters. Employees immediately stood up. Security guards straightened their uniforms. A sleek black SUV came to a stop. The driver hurried to open the rear door. Daniel Okafor stepped out. Tall, handsome, well-dressed, yet there was nothing proud about him. His warm smile immediately lit up the faces around him. "Good morning, sir," one of the security guards greeted. Daniel smiled. "Good morning, Musa. How's your daughter doing?" The security guard looked surprised. "She's much better, sir. The malaria has reduced." Daniel nodded with relief. "Thank God." He reached into his jacket and brought out an envelope. "Take this." The security guard stepped back. "No, sir. We've already helped us." Daniel gently placed the envelope into the man's hand. "It's for her school fees. Don't argue with me." The security guard's eyes became watery. "God bless you, sir." Daniel smiled. "Just make sure she grows up to become somebody greater than both of us." The guard laughed through his tears. "I'll never forget this." As Daniel walked into the company, every staff member greeted him warmly, not because they feared him, but because they genuinely loved him. Everyone knew one thing about Daniel Okafor. He never looked down on anyone.
Across another part of Lagos, reality was completely different. The noisy streets of Ajegunle echoed with the sounds of hammers striking metal. Mechanics shouted across workshops. Engines roared. Underneath an old Peugeot, Tobi lay covered in engine oil. His hands moved confidently beneath the vehicle. Just then, Jacob's angry voice echoed across the workshop. "Tobi, how long does it take to repair one car?" Tobi slid out from under the vehicle. Sweat covered his face. "The gearbox is damaged. I'm almost done." Jacob scoffed. "Almost? You've been saying almost since morning." Without warning, he kicked the tire violently. "If the son I sacrificed everything for could see this." He stopped, realizing what he had almost said. Tobi frowned. "What did you just say?" Jacob quickly looked away. "Nothing." Tobi stepped closer. "No, you always say things like that. What do you mean?" Before Jacob could answer, Mama Grace hurried into the workshop carrying a flask of food. "Jacob, must every morning begin with shouting?" She handed the food to Tobi. "My son, you haven't eaten." Tobi smiled weakly. "Thank you, Mama." Jacob turned away angrily. "You're the reason he's lazy." Grace faced her husband. "No, I'm the reason he still smiles after the way you treat him." Jacob remained silent, then walked away. Tobi watched him leave. His smile slowly disappeared. "He has never loved me." Grace gently touched his cheek. "My son, he loves you. He just doesn't know how to show it." Tobi forced a smile. "I stopped believing that years ago." Grace hugged him tightly. Unknown to both of them, Jacob stood outside the workshop, listening. Tears gathered in his eyes. He quietly whispered to himself, "I'm sorry, if only you knew why." Then he walked away before anyone saw him crying. That same afternoon, children laughed happily inside community primary school. Some played football, others chased each other beneath a large mango tree. Teacher Amara sat marking exercise books, while occasionally smiling at her pupils. A familiar horn sounded outside the school gate. The children immediately became excited. "Uncle Daniel! Uncle Daniel is here!" Daniel stepped out of his SUV carrying cartons filled with exercise books. The children surrounded him. He laughed. "Easy, easy. If all of you hug me together, I'll fall down." The children laughed even louder. Amara walked over, smiling. You promised me 10 books. Daniel shrugged playfully. I couldn't decide which children should get them, so I bought enough for everyone. Amara folded her arms. You know something? What? Most rich people only remember poor schools when cameras are around. Daniel laughed softly. Then it's a good thing I didn't bring any cameras. Their eyes met. For a brief moment, the world around them disappeared. Neither of them noticed someone watching from across the road. Tobi. He had come to repair the school's faulty generator. As he carried his toolbox through the gate, he noticed Daniel and Amara laughing together. He stopped walking. Something about Amara caught his attention immediately. She looked different, simple, beautiful, kind. Amara turned and noticed him. She smiled politely. Good afternoon. Tobi nodded. Afternoon. He quickly looked away. For reasons he couldn't explain, he suddenly wished Daniel wasn't standing there. That same evening, Amara returned home. Her elderly aunt Stella was watering flowers outside their modest house. Auntie, I'm back. Stella smiled warmly. Welcome, my daughter. How was school today? Amara smiled. It was wonderful. Daniel came again. The watering can slipped from Stella's hand. She froze. Daniel? Yes, the businessman. Stella's face suddenly changed. She quickly bent down and picked up the watering can, trying to hide her emotions. Oh, he's a good young man. Amara laughed. He really is. He has such a good heart. Stella forced a smile. I know. Amara walked into the house, still smiling, but Stella remained standing outside, lost in thought. She slowly looked toward the darkening sky. Lord, she whispered, please, don't let the past destroy those children. She walked into her bedroom, opened an old wooden wardrobe. From beneath neatly folded clothes, she gently touched a rusty metal box. She didn't open it. She simply rested her hand on it, closed her eyes, and began to cry. Inside that old metal box lay a secret capable of destroying 2 families, but Stella had sworn never to open it again. Unfortunately, someone was about to force the past back into the light.
If you're enjoying this story, please support this channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. The biggest secret is about to be revealed. Tell me in the comments,